you know, it's a bit precarious, but as you can see, Hello again, it's Eric from Weeping Beetroots, and this is my second video in my evolution of the homemade crossbow. So the first one I showcased this one, which was my little popsi-bow, if you will, just using a plastic ruler, some popsicles, and yeah, just made this very basic sort of bow construction that just shoots, you know, little pencils. Very basic. A lot of fun to make, but not quite as much as the next one, which is this. Let me show you its features. So basically I just took some old cheap wood that was lying around, and following Todd from Todd's workshop, I followed his video, which is in the link below, by the way. The link is in the description below, rather, of just like a basic, easy homemade crossbow. So please look at that video. I followed that, and I mean, I changed it a little bit because I didn't quite have everything he had. You know, he had a little piece of ash, thin piece of ash to use as the bow, so you could make an actual crossbow. You know, with a wooden lathe, a wooden bow. So I didn't have that, but I just improvised, and I made the basic stock is what he has as well. So, but you can basically see, you know, it's got this little guide on top. This is the stock itself here, and then it's got this piece at the bottom here, which has a little hole or a little pin through it. And then that, you know, there's a hole in the stock there, and this, you can see the pin pushes up in there through that hole. So what happens is, you've got your groove here, you pull the string back all the way, the string sits behind that groove, in this groove, and is held by the stock itself, basically. You know, you put in your bolt, which is again a pen or pencil, and then simply, when you want to fire, simply push this up, and the pin pushes the string out of this socket, and there you go. It shoots. It fires. Very simple. Very easy. This whole piece also turns on an axle here, which is just a simple pin. You know, you drill a small hole there, and it sits in there. And yeah, again, very easy, very simple. This for the bow itself, if you will, the lathe, I just used a piece of this wood, which I think is pine. I'm not quite sure though. Was just lying in the garden. So just used another piece of that. Decided I don't have any wood really suitable for a bow, so I'm just going to put this on there and use rubber bands instead of a proper string. You know, because that, you know. So basically, this is more of a slingshot than a crossbow, actually. You know. So it's quite easy actually. You just sort of, you know, you can see this is the string with the rubber bands. This one, these are actually just there to hold the stock onto the bow, because I was just too lazy to bolt it all together, or, you know, put it all together properly. So I just decided to use some rubber bands, and that also gives it some flexibility, because then you can change it up. You know, if you want to put a different bow on, or this one breaks or something like that, you can just change it up. So all I have to do basically is pull it back all the way, and I've got a little groove on the back of the stock there, and that's where the rubber bands will then sit. That's where they'll engage. And then, you know, it's a bit precarious, but as you can see, but it holds it in place, you know, if you don't do things like that. So let me just put that back again. There we go. Okay, so let me try and stabilize this whole thing, and then what you can do, there it goes again. And then all you do once it is actually stable, yeah, you've got, like I said, your string with the rubber bands there. So I'll just pull that back all the way and make sure it sits in that little groove there. It sits and the string is held back by the stock itself there. Okay. Now all I have to do is be careful that I don't push this up, the trigger block, and then I'll be golden, you know. Now what I can do is I put my pencil into the groove. It fits in nicely under the guide here, and then all I did to, the problem is it can easily go all the way back. Your bolt, your pencil can go all the way back into this hole, this gap. All you do there, well, what I did is I just, on the guide and the stock, made sure that the groove for the bolt didn't go all the way through. So naturally, it's too narrow, you know, beyond this point, more or less. It's too narrow. So the pencil can only go up to that point, and that's it. It sits there. And that's it. Now, I can grab my advent calendar targets and just put two together because this one is quite a bit more powerful. What I did, by the way, sorry, before I shoot, what I did is I put, I think four rubber bands together on this side, four on this side, and attached them to some cotton, which is the central string, because I wanted that to be an inflexible, or, you know, to be something that's not very elastic, so that it could properly engage the bolt and sit in the groove here. And it's worked fine so far. So it's got about 4 rubber bands on each side, like I said. Then I can just show you, so I've got my little target there, got my bolt in there, and let's see what happens. There you go, nice little shot. Goes, let's see, can't really see. Okay, it did go all the way through. And well, you can see there's an old hole there. So this one is older, but there, that small one is where it went in. But you know, still nice. It went all the way through this one. There's some plastic inside there as well. So it's, you know, it's not nothing. It's quite a powerful thing, I'd say. What I did also was to I found that, you know, as you might expect, with these things, they aren't very stable in flight. So what I did is just added some fins using, of course, again, my favorite material, popsicle sticks. Made 2 little, not fins, what do you call them, vanes, sorry. Put them there, glued them into the pencil, added some weight to the front of the pencil, otherwise this whole thing sort of just is unbalanced. Added some weight there, and then it's got a fair bit of balance, you know, and it gives, you know, these flights give it some extra stability. So I can load that again. So I can show you just basically how it flies with the flights on it. Let's see. A fair distance, maybe about 12-13 meters. So that must be about 36 to 40 yards. Sorry, feet. And yeah, well, anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and see you for my third part on the actual crossbow.